If you're listening to this late at night and you are just now learning how to be independent for the first time, this video is for you. Tonight, we're reading two quiet Reddit posts from people who sound fine on the outside, but are struggling in ways most people never see. Post 1. I've been thinking a lot about what it means to learn how to be independent. Growing up, I needed more support than others in certain areas, and because of that, I was often helped through things rather than taught how to handle them on my own. At the time, it felt normal. There were things I wasn't expected to do or wasn't given the space to learn because it was assumed I wouldn't know how. But now, as an adult, I'm starting to feel the weight of that. There are parts of everyday life that still feel unfamiliar, not because I can't learn them, but because I was never really given the chance to figure them out gradually. I've noticed that I tend to stay in what feels comfortable, often telling myself that I don't know enough yet to step out of it. At the same time, I've also started to realize that learning independence isn't just about practical skills. It's also learning about how to think for yourself, how to make decisions, how to trust your own judgment. And that's been harder than I expected. There's a quiet tension in it, wanting to handle things on my own, but not always knowing where that line is, when to figure something out independently, and when it's okay to ask for help. Sometimes I've pushed myself to do everything alone, even when I clearly needed support. Other times, I've hesitated to begin at all because I didn't feel ready. So now I find myself somewhere in between, trying to learn what independence actually looks like in a way that feels steady and real. Post 2. I've been reflecting on how uneven progress can look in different parts of life. In financial matters, I've done well. I've built something of my own, created stability in that one area, and moved forward without following the traditional path. But at the same time, there are parts of everyday life that feel undeveloped. I still live at home, and for a long time, I didn't question it. It felt practical. It allowed me to focus on other things, and I didn't feel a strong reason to change it or move out or anything. But recently, something shifted. I started to notice how that choice looks from the outside and how it might reflect parts of my life that I haven't fully built yet. There's a sense that while I've progressed in certain ways, I may have missed some of the more basic foundations that people had developed along the way. Not intentionally, just gradually. And now I find myself trying to understand where to begin. It's a strange realization to recognize that you've moved forward, but not necessarily in a way that feels complete, especially when you don't have a clear reference point for what comes next. So now I'm left with the question of how to build those missing pieces and what it means to start that process later than expected. There's a quiet complexity in learning independence later than expected. Not because the ability isn't there, but because the foundation wasn't built gradually over time like others. Sometimes progress happens unevenly, growing in certain areas until others remain, well, undeveloped. And when that becomes visible, it can feel like starting from the beginning, even after moving forward in those other areas in life. In those moments, the challenge isn't just learning new skills, but redefining what it means to begin where you are. If any part of this video felt familiar, you're not alone in that feeling. If any part of this video felt like that is you, you don't need to have answers tonight. You don't need to fix anything right now. You just need to be. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself, gently.